Hi there, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, anywhere you're listening to from all over the world. My name is Oluwatosin Mubadumade, and this is Plant Path Podcast, your number one place for conversations in SDG 4 quality education. Plant Path Podcast is brought to you by Plant Path Consult, your choice hub for news, resources, consult, trainings, collaborations, and everything quality education. Okay, this is our first book review for the year, and I'm excited to be with you on the show today. Today, we are reviewing the book You're Too Good to Feel This Bad by Dr. Nate Dallas. You Are Too Good to Feel This Bad by Dr. Nate Dallas. Okay, so this book has a catchphrase in front of it. It says, an orthodox approach to living an unorthodox life. An unorthodox approach to living an unorthodox life. So I'm in love with this book. This is absolutely one of my favorite books that I've read this year. I read into 2021 rather. This 2022 now. I read in 2021 and it was sent to me by a friend. I saw it on status and I said, "Oh, please send it to me." And I really enjoyed reading the book. One of the things that stood out for me in the book is the fact that it's very practical. It's as much as it brings concepts and all, it talks from a place of doing, it talks from a place of practicalizing. And I think this is actually very important. This is actually very important for us that we have a high tendency of soaking in so much information, but then are we really doing, are we really practicing, are we really putting all of the knowledge that we have into action to make our lives better? I like that this book comes from that perspective. And the second thing I would also like to say about this book is that it's it tells you that everything you need to live an amazing life is within you. You really don't have to do anything special, extraordinary, or go out of your way to look for these special things. You are special in yourself, and everything you need has been given to you by God, by nature, by life. And from what you have, you can start to live a good life because you are too good to feel this back. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
The Blood Path. The Blood Path.
Okay, all right. Three principles as you will review this book. There are three principles I'd like us to speak about as we read this book. Number one is that this book encourages optimism. It gives you an optimistic approach towards learning, and that as you read, be optimistic. Secondly, is the fact that all the results that you hope to see as you read this book, as you come with so much optimism, they are going to require discipline. They are going to require a lot of effort on your end. So don't think that you're just going to listen to this book review and your life will change automatically. Yeah, the change is embedded in what you know and in your power to take action. Thirdly is that remember that you're born alone, and that you should normalize going on solo adventures like this on your own. You should normalize that. Okay, so we'll be jumping right into chapter 1 now. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Blood Path.
All right, this is Plant Path Podcast brought to you by Plant Path Consult, your number one place for news, resources, collaborations, trainings, consulting, and everything education. All right, chapter 1 describes Dr. Nate Dallas's personal experience of him feeling too good, being too good to feel this bad. Okay, so he had so many symptoms, and in fact, when I was reading the symptoms, I thought that something really, really bad had happened to him. Like maybe he had a terminal disease or so. I mean, he had nightly insomnia. He often woke up with night terrors, with vivid hallucinations, daily headaches, occasional debilitating migraines. In fact, he often vomited. Imagine all of these things, frequent neck and shoulder pains, and you'll be wondering, what's wrong with Dr. Nato? And in fact, he had gone to see different specialists and all. They really couldn't pinpoint what was wrong with him. Then eventually somebody said he went to a specialist, and the specialist said he was stressed out. stress was his problem. And in fact, I started thinking that, can you imagine stress? Is this stress that is causing all of this? Then I started introspecting and looking at my life and maybe the lives of other people, that how stress has crept in so much into our lives and culture that we don't even realize that stress has caused so much, you understand, in our lives. And I also, one thing I also took home from this book, this chapter, is the fact that sometimes we compare ourselves with other people and we don't even raise the bar. We usually raise the bar so low so we can feel so nice. We don't raise the bar to look up high, and you understand, set really high standards for ourselves. And I think that this is something we should pay attention to in this year, that even when you find yourself comparing or maybe trying to evaluate yourself, yes, the competition is always against yourself, is always with yourself. And if peradventure you want to compare with yourself with other people, please always look at people that are doing way better than you, so that you can, step up and improve yourself. Don't always look down, like look for people that are not doing as well as you or stuff, so that you can now feel good about yourself. I think that's a very sickly thing to do. All right, so that's chapter one. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back for chapter two.
The Blonde Path.
All right, welcome back. This is Plant Path Podcast, your number one place for conversations in quality education. All right, chapter 2 says lying in plain sight, sleep. Lying in plain sight, sleep. Okay, let me just read this to you. Take sleep seriously. Actually, sleep is not for the weak. Stop bragging about your need for not so much sleep. You get a lot of techies and creatives say, I don't need so much sleep. Sleep is for the weak. I have a particular friend that says that, yourself, you're listening. Rather, actually, sleep is an essential for well-being. I found out even in my private life that when I sleep well, when I get up to 7 hours a day, 7, 8 hours a day, I'm usually more productive. So over time, I've told myself, you know what to say, you need sleep. Sleep is not for the weak, and I get so much sleep. I mean, once I get sleep, I'm more productive. Instead of me to be staying awake and be proving to myself that I don't need more sleep, who am I helping? Honestly, okay, so be militant about mastering sleep. So Dr. Nate Dallas is telling us to be militant about mastering sleep. Jealously guard your sleep time, like jealously guard your sleep time. I mean, if I'm shedding off stuff from my life, I'm definitely not sharing my sleep time. I'm definitely not sharing my meditation time at all. Maybe I can give the other hours, work on, you understand, being flexible about other things. But my sleep and my meditation time, I really don't want to. I really, really, really want to be militant about it. I've always been militant about it. I want to be militant about it some more. And I think you should be militant about it. Jealously guard your sleep time. Okay, so sleep is a natural resource, and as far as I'm concerned, there's no food, there's no vitamin or drug that will actually get you quality sleep. Like that can't get you that quality sleep that you need. So there are some few things you should know about sleep. That sleep helps to improve your memory, your focus, and mental cognition. Trust me, you can't compare when you're tired with when you're well refreshed. Sleep also helps you to look more attractive. Eye bags don't look sexy at all, trust me. Sleep helps you look more attractive. There's a kind of glow you have when you actually, when you sleep well. Sleep speeds recovery times and prevents injuries. One of the things that I've heard my friends in the medical space say all over again is that sometimes the drugs don't heal you in themselves. The drugs actually make you to sleep so that the body can repair itself. Usually all those cold medications that we take, sleep actually helps recovery times and prevents injuries. Sleep also makes you creative. I mean, by the time you are I heard that most CEOs don't take decisions after make major decisions after 10 a.m. I don't as well. I don't. When you've slept well and you're refreshed, it makes you very creative. And then let's add this last part, that when you've slept well, um you're more likely, actually, when you've not slept, you're more likely to eat more, because this is how the thing works. You're tired and you just need more food to pump yourself up. So maybe all of those dieting thing you're doing and all of that, maybe you should add sleep into your diet list. I mean, you can check it up online. Sleep is a very good way for you to lose weight, because when you've got enough sleep, um when you've got enough sleep, I mean, you won't see the need to eat too much than you're supposed to eat, and you just take the barest minimum. Okay, so there's a question about this sleep that we really need to answer at this point. Like, how much hours of sleep do you really need daily? How much hours of sleep do you get, and what amount of sleep actually gets you jump started? Well, I know the number of hours I need to sleep to actually be on a good plane. I know my minimum, and I know that, oh, I can do past that if there's the time to. Okay, so the recommended sleep goal, the daily goal for adults, is that you should have 8 hours. 8 hours. Please, just if you have children, you can just check online for the recommended daily hours for them to sleep, because it varies as the age and all. So some people need more sleep and others need more than the 8 hours. That's it should depend on the kind of work they do and all. Before you just jump and say that, I don't need more, please first give your body those extended times of sleep, and you are now ask yourself if you actually needed more, if your body will not receive it. I'm not saying that you should now spend your whole time, you understand, just sleeping and not doing anything constructive with your time. But then I know that you can actually get enough sleep and do well, and perform well in life. Okay, so what makes for a good sleep? This is like the ending part of this chapter. I mean, one major focus of this chapter, rather. Okay, so melatonin is a hormone released in your body. I like this part actually. Once it gets dark, so as it gets dark, and the darker it gets, more melatonin is released in your body. Your body gets the signal that, oh, it's time to sleep and all. But the thing is that because of technology and electricity and all of that, most of our homes, our offices, everywhere we are, they are usually well lightened up. So the body is confused, like, she's in night already, because me, I'm seeing everywhere lighter, and like everywhere is just bright and bubbly. So one of the things so your body does not now release enough melatonin. That's one of the reasons people don't sleep well. So one of the things you can do to help yourself with this is that once it's getting later in the day and stand, you can be reducing the light in your space. Maybe turn off the light in the kitchen, turn off the light. You can even have two bulbs, and day bulbs, night bulbs, and all of that in your room, such that it signals to your body that it's time to sleep already. You can start doing this like maybe few hours before bed and all. You would see the difference. Okay, so one of me, I do that as well. Once it's towards my sleeping time, maybe an hour to my sleep time, I try to turn off the light in a particular, like, my what they call it, my bed side of the room. I turn off the light, and so that I'm not so much exposed to light as well, and all of that. So the second thing you should also pay attention to as a key player in your sleep game is caffeine. So sometimes it's actually very worrisome. It's actually very, very worrisome that people take caffeine indiscriminately. I mean, sometimes I just feel that people should be sued for taking too much caffeine. I mean, and usually the way caffeine is delivered in society, like, I mean, the vehicle with which caffeine comes in, they are very harmful. I mean, you just see caffeine in soda drinks, artificially flavored drinks, and all of that. And the truth is that as you're using that soda to clear the sleep, just know that all the sleep that your body is owing, you will still pay back in the long run. That's the truth. You will still pay back for all of those sleep. And the truth is that I've never seen one person that drinks caffeine that is heavily invested in taking all of this, so that that is good with sleep. I've not seen one person at all. So it has just proven to be true. So please pay attention to that. We already said melatonin is a very important factor in your sleep game. That's like reducing light towards your sleep time. Secondly is caffeine. Thirdly, please, alcohol intake weakens sleep. Like, bam, just take it like that, especially towards your bedtime. So even when you take caffeine, let's even go back to the caffeine game. Even when you take caffeine, please reduce your caffeine intake towards your bedtime. Very, very important. Then beware of sleep aids, all of these medications that promise you that once you take them you'll be sleeping well. Please, as much as you can, modify your lifestyle, modify your eating habits and all of that, so that you can get sleep naturally. All these aids that you're getting, all of these help from drugs and all, they are not lasting effect. They don't have lasting effect. Okay, so there's no shortcut to sleep. So we've already discussed, in this chapter we've already discussed your magic numbers, essential things to know about sleep. We've also discussed the major key players in your sleep game. Okay, so lastly, as we round off this chapter, let's talk about your sleep strategies. So first off, maintain rhythm. I mean, have specific times that you're sleeping, and then times that you wake up. You may suck in the beginning, but then you would actually find it to be very helpful, because your body rhythm will know that, oh, towards maybe 10 p.m. I'm sleeping, and I maybe wake up by maybe in the middle of the night for an hour to maybe meditate or do something else and all of that. Maybe read your Bible, read a book, read something personally meaningful to you. Then maybe you're sleeping back, maybe getting 1 more hour of sleep or two before you eventually stand up. Whatever it is that works for you, make sure you have a reading. Have a reading, it works for me. Or of course, there are sometimes our life changes and all of that, busy schedule and all that I can't keep up to. But usually, once, and I think that applies to everybody. Dr. Nate Dallas was saying this, that even if you have modifications in your life and just try and jump right into it back, or along with your modification, modify your sleep time too. Secondly is that you should turn down the lights. We already said that when we're talking about melatonin. um Thirdly is that stick to the ultimate rule for bedroom basics. I think this one is very important. Don't use your bed to sleep, to eat, to do everything. Even if you're single and you live alone, try and even don't eat on your bed. Maybe stay around the kitchen to eat, or just don't just make sure you're not eating on that bed. It's very, very important. You're not doing too much activity on your bed. I'm also trying to work towards that. That's something I'm trying to work on. You can hold me accountable to that. Next time you see me, I'm trying not to eat on my bed. I'm trying to use my study table to study and not use my laptop on my bed, and it's quite difficult, but I'm getting there. All right, so cut your caffeine intake, then establish regular ritual works very well. Limit your screen time, especially towards bedtime. Yeah, sometimes you just even forget yourself on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or you're reading something and you just forget, and you sleep off. And that's another thing I would like to say. Please go to bed, don't sleep off. I like, go to bed, take a bath, do your night routine, your maybe exercise routine, go take a bath, lie down and sleep very well. Put your phone away from your bed and actually sleep. Turn off your phone if you need to. If you can't, it's okay. Just make sure that it's not beeping every time you get a notification. So maybe put it on silent, turn off your data or your Wi-Fi connection and all of that. Just do something. Remove your phone from your bed. Very, very important. Don't fall. Stop falling asleep. I beg you. Stop falling asleep. Please go to bed properly. Thank you very much. So we just got chapter 2. I know, and I'm hopeful that you picked up something for yourself in chapter 2. Let's go on a quick break, and we'll be back. Thank you.
The plan path.
Okay, so we are skipping chapter 3 and we are going right into chapter 4. Chapter 4 says better input for better outputs, water and food. Better inputs for better outputs, water and food. I remember that thing we said in computer science class in, I think, primary school now. Garbage in, garbage out. So when I see a lot of people, because when I see a lot of people trying to lose weight and all of that, sometimes I find it hilarious. Not because I'm not being mean or anything. I find it hilarious because I'm like, you can't just lose weight like that. You can't. Flat tummy is not going to descend on you. at all, at all. You have to learn how to control what you eat. You know, Yoruba people even say "ono fun ono orun." It basically means that what you eat actually determines the quality of your life. That's what it means. Okay, so it's not like I like this part really because um for me for me personally too, this is something that I find I found very helpful in my life. It has really helped my in different ways in my well-being, and in a lot of ways eating what you eat and what you drink very important. So let's talk about drinking first of all. So we've heard that drinking water is better than any type of fluid you consume, like coffee, fizzy drinks, soda, etc. But the question is that do we actually even drink enough water? You understand? Or should I say it in the Nigerian English way? Are we drinking the water we are supposed to be drinking? All right. So most people's water intake is infrequent and unplanned. And Dr. Nedalasi says that some people are hoodlums, really. Like, some people actually finish a whole meal, an entire meal, without taking water. And really, it's not good for you. It's not even, you're stressing your whole digestive system, you're stressing it. Make sure that when you're eating, take some water between the food, and in between, just be soft, be giving your digestive system soft work so that there's enough fluid in the food and all of that for you to digest. um let's So when our bodies are dehydrated, when we are not properly hydrated, inhibits proper digestion. I mean, there's no fluid. Like, in fact, some people, when you go to the toilet to even poop, you can see how difficult it is for you to even pass out feces. Your whole digestive system, your whole system will be in distress. I mean, it's like, imagine how it is when you've just finished running and your body is panting for water. That's usually how your internal systems are panting for you to just drink some water. Water. Hey, Jesus, water. Hey, drink water, honestly. So if your body is dehydrated, just be sure that you know that your brain is also dehydrated. Imagine that your brain is dehydrated and is maybe shrinking as well. Okay, all right. So when you actually don't even drink water, it increases your anxiety levels. And this one, I can really tell you, drinking water helps you to balance your body well, even your pH level. Drinking water, Dr. Nitzela and I personally testify to this, that drinking water helps you reduce your anxiety level. It helps you remain very, very calm. So when you don't also drink water, it affects your skin. No glue for you. So even if you're using all the skin products, from within, you would not glow as much as you would have if you drink enough water. Sometimes the all the skincare regime that you even need is to drink water and mind your business. Okay, so when you also don't drink water, your mouth becomes very, very dry. Very, very dry and smelly. Actually, that's the truth. So Mayo Clinic recommends that 2.7 liters of water should be drunk by women daily and 3.7 liters for men. So that's very simple, helpful, and affordable. Simple, drink water. And it's simply drink water. It's easier to maintain a water surplus than to live with a water deficit. So I hope you've learned a lesson that I hope you've learned a lesson that you're going to put into use. Please ensure that you drink water. So let's talk about eating. This chapter is talking about eating and drinking. So eating. So the issue with eating, usually for most people, it boils around convenience and negligence. So a lot of people, even men, women, bachelors, married people, single, widowed, everybody at different age range, I've realized that people these days don't eat real food. Please, not overly processed food, like overly processed food. They are very, 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 very. It's very painful to me when I see people rely so much on overly processed food. Sorry, I've been talking for long and I want to drink my water. Yeah, I'm living by example. So let me read this out from the book. There are so many ingredients in our food today that have no business being there. They are laden with potentially harmful things, and our body aren't designed to thrive on things like that. So for starters, you may not necessarily just do a diet overhaul and remove things from your pantry, from your stuff, from your fridge, and say you're living healthy. So you can just start one day at a time and go for healthier options. I would always say this: spaghetti over bread every day, and rice over spaghetti. Actually, this is something you should pay attention to. There are a lot of options. You don't have to eat breakfast. I know that not everybody likes yam. You can do what they call it, potatoes. You can make oats, you understand, and take it with your milk and all of that. Then you should boiled plantain and fried plantain and boiled eggs over the fried option, fresh vegetables over the packaged alternatives. If you think it's hard to cook healthy food, and please listen to this part very well. If you think it is hard to cook healthy food, maybe swallowing prescription drugs, giving yourself daily injunction. Let me check again. If you think it's hard to cook healthy food, maybe swallowing prescription drugs, giving yourself daily injections, maybe insulin for the rest of your life may be easier. Or maybe when you even struggle to, lose some weight forever. So you think about it and look at the pros and cons. Aside from that, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, well, how would you like to be? Physically, mentally healthy, like in all ways. How would you like to see yourself in the future, in maybe in the 10 years time, 20 years and whatever your vision is eat daily with that vision in mind. Okay, but some things you should note: buy the best available option. I mean, when you're coming from work, that 100 naira, what they call it, watermelon, or maybe 500 naira, or whatever your budget is, pineapples, apple, watermelon, all of those things, they profit you than all those chips and drinks you're buying in Lagos traffic, honestly. Then you don't have to really break the bank. That's the truth. Just work with what you have. There's always something for everybody at every level. And secondly, eat whole processed, all natural foods. Consume your fruits and vegetables as freshly as possible. Avoid artificial colors, flavorings, preservatives, and sugar. Cheat fairly. Okay, so for starters, you may have a cheat day. Don't negotiate your cheat day. If you say your cheat day is Sunday, if you miss it on Sunday, you can't postpone it for to Tuesday or anything. Stick with your cheat day. Eat anything you want to eat in moderate quantity on your cheat day. That could be helpful for you. Then be diverse in what you eat. Like, our bodies are made for nutritional diversity, really. Just eat anything as things come your way. Be diverse about what you eat, and you really enjoy it. Just eat different things, try different stuff out. Don't stick with one schedule all the time. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Maintain consistent eating schedule. Everything in life, like, if you don't personally, I would always say this: everything in life requires strategy, even eating. So one of the things I've also seen that has helped me improve my health in different ways, that's improved the quality of my life generally, is having schedules for literally everything. I think we spoke about, in the last chapter that we discussed, we spoke about having sleep schedule, eating schedules as well. So for me, I have my breakfast between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day. Within between that time, I would have breakfast. My lunch usually maybe around 12 to like 3 max, just within that window period. Then dinner within between like 5 to like 7:30. Just that window period, I'll make sure I eat. So my body naturally even craves for food around those times. And it's really good. If I'm fasting or for some reasons I'm not eating, I would have conditioned my body to know that, oh, I'm not eating at this period, or take a lot of time water once is my eating time. So once you have regular eating schedule, it will be easy for you to eat. See, even if you're married, you can make that. If I said married, even if you don't cook and everything, or you live alone, you don't get food around you, don't just be working. Especially for young people, don't just say, I'm working, I don't have time to eat something. No, your body actually deserves that respect and consistency that you're supposed to give to it. You understand what I'm saying? take your time like this and work out something that works for you. I know people that buy bowls of soups and it has worked for them. I know people that always have oats in their house, always have staple food, always have yam, things that they can easily just boil. One thing that also works for me, if I'm going out in the morning, sometimes maybe I'm going out in the morning, or even if I'm not, like, even if I'm working remotely, anyway my schedule is usually once I just set my food on fire, maybe bring out yams, cut out like three slices, just wash it and put it on fire and continue bathing. Maybe I'm arranging my room, laying my bed, folding my duvet, go have a shower. By the time I come back, the food is ready. I even set it on the table and let it cool. So by the time I'm like finished, I finish dressing up, my food is ready and I'm eating. You can work towards these things. You can really work towards them. If you actually put it in mind, you would work towards them. Don't wait till your body gives you that signal for you to stop working before you understand. Before you stop before you give yourself food. Do simple stuff. I know somebody that always has soup at home, just buys different soups and takes with bread, takes quickly boils spaghetti. Just do anything that works for you depending on your schedule and all of that. And I stay with my mom when I stay at home, like when I used to be at home, my mom used to be the one doing the majority of the cooking because she was available and I was like busy and everything, and that system worked for us. But now, like, that system doesn't work again, and we just always modify at different stages of our lives. So please modify anyone that works for you. Just think through something, then, like I said before, think about yourself in another 10, 20 years and think about how you really want your life to go, how you would like your life to go at all. And just think about that and eat your food with that vision in mind. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back to discuss some other parts of the book briefly. Thank you.
The Blind Path.
All right, thank you very much. This is Plant Path Podcast brought to you by Plant Path Consult, and number one place for news, resources, collaborations, trainings, consulting, and everything SDG for quality education. All right, you can always reach us on our mail, plantpathc@gmail.com, or on all of our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Spotify, we're on Anchor, we're on Substack, we're on different social media platforms. Okay, all right, just reach out to us. Okay, so we are talking about let's go to chapter 9, Lost Leaders, R and L. So you're wondering what it means: rest, recreation, and leisure. So one thing I would just say about this part, one thing, one thing, one thing. Please, leisure, your time for you to relax and all of that, they are very important to your well-being. Don't feel guilty on the days you say I'm not doing anything, I'm relaxing in at home and all of that. It is not a sin to relax. It is very good and it's essential for your well-being. Please pay attention to that and make sure you have time to relax. Thank you so much. That is all I would say for that chapter 9. Let's go on a quick break and we'll talk about chapter 14.
The Blind Path.
Okay, so chapter 14 talks about leveling up relationships. Okay, so we are all designed for connections. That's the truth. We're all designed for love. Don't self-sabotage yourself. I would like to chip this in briefly as well. So please, in your relationships, in as you interact with people, love is in different levels. It's true. Like they say, friendship, there's a level you talk about things, there's a level you talk about events, there's a level you talk about other people, and then there's a level you start talking about yourself. So what I would like to say is that ensure that you have a growth mindset while you're at this, because having a growth mindset will help you to develop in your relationships and grow even as an individual. Very, very, very important for you. So in love relationships as well, there's a form of love where we participate in things for the benefit of for our benefit. The level two is when it's a mutual agreement, like everybody gets something from it. Then there's a level that the focus is on other people, maybe humanitarian efforts and all of that. Then there's a level, the fourth level of love, that you get to love or everyone just for the sake of loving them. I mean, that's like saintly, like the Mother Teresa and the Nelson Mandela types. So we will say that level one is all about taking, level two is about trading, level three is about giving, and then level four is about loving everybody just for the sake of loving them. Very, very important that we pay attention to this and we level up in our relationships. We are built for connections. Please don't stay in isolation, relate to people, and bring your best to the table as well while you're relating with others. Lastly, let's just talk briefly about chapter 5. It's a one-page chapter. I mean, on the reader I was reading, using to read, I was just laughing that so Dr. Nate can write a one-page chapter. Okay, so what I like to say about chapter 5. Chapter 5 says strain, pain, and gains exercise. Strain, pain, and gains exercise. So he says it will be an injustice to have a book about wellness, stress, and anxiety and fail to discuss exercise. But there is no need to get carried away on this one. Let's just keep it simple. Two parts, and I would like you to pay attention to it. Number one, work up a good sweat at least 3 times per week. Sex and yard work did sex and yard work actually counts. Then night sweat and eating hot wings do not count. So when you're eating, it doesn't count at all. Secondly is that you should push or pull something heavy at least twice a week. Those are like just two basic things. Work up a good sweat, sex and yard work, they count. And night sweat and eating hot wings or eating whenever you're eating do not count. So secondly is to make sure you push or pull something heavy at least 2 days a week. And that's just basically it. If you need to maybe bulk up or you want to lose considerable amounts of weight, you may have to just do more with that. So just make sure you're working it out every time you have to. All right, thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. This we just reviewed the book You Are Too Good to Feel This Bad, An Orthodox Approach to Living an Unorthodox Life by Dr. Nate Dallas. We'd like to get your feedback on this episode. Please, when you finish listening, just send us a comment, a review on what you learned on this episode and how it has helped you. I look forward to maybe yes, we also have this. Any book you want us to review, you can send us a mail at planpassy@gmail.com or reach out on any of our social media platforms. We'll be glad to consider reviewing the book you have in mind. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome time with you. My name is Oluwatosin Mugbadunade. This is Plan Path Podcast, your number one place for conversations in quality education.